everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey there, you guys. How is y'all's evening? I honestly was not expecting documents today. I will tell you that now. I really wasn't. I really was not expecting them to drop any documents today. Especially since, I don't know if y'all noticed, but these redactions are not there in the ones that I've seen. We were told that all but like the last 4 digits of phone numbers were going to be covered and whatnot. No. Oh, nay, nay. No. Phone numbers are out there in all their digity glory. Okay. So I don't know if it's because they know that these numbers are no longer working, because I highly doubt Eric Gower has the same phone number. But in the reports, like, that's just an example. Eric Gower's full-ass phone number is in the report. So I don't know what we waited for if all the redactions they were supposed to put in there aren't in there, and it's just the full-on info. So in order to be very careful, because YouTube has rules, and just because something is public information, YouTube doesn't give a shit, and they'll punish you for it anyway. They did it with the Pullman information. I mentioned that in the video that I posted earlier to remind you guys what happened with that. We went live to go over the documentation that I got from Pullman Police Department months ago. And because there was email addresses in it that were Gmail addresses, which to YouTube is a personal email address, it deleted the entire live. It didn't let me just go in and like clip out whatever part it was talking about. It ixnayed that whole thing. So for the most part, when we're going back and forth, I know that for, let's say for like Maori, his is the one I feel is going to be the worst one to go in and go back over back and forth wise, because his is like all the technical stuff with that information in it. So I feel like as we're going through Maori's, I'm going to have to take it off the screen, check the document, and then come back just to make sure that there's no phone numbers or email addresses showing, because they've already done stupid shit to me before. So I think that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to say hi to you guys for just a few minutes because I know some of y'all been in here for a second, but I just want to let you guys know that this does not look like it's technically like fresh information. Now, granted, there is going to be some stuff in here that we haven't seen before because there's some names in here that we haven't read stuff before. I personally have gone in and tried to find anything new about the sheath and haven't been able to find anything. I'm still looking for information about why the one piece of evidence that has like the resubmission check mark is the strap Q-tip DNA submission. And I was hoping there would be something in these because they're like additional reports, but there's nothing. On top of that, the way that these open, there's like a file folder, not really like a file folder, but sort of like a timeline folder that pops up on the side of the screen, and it jumps pages and sections. I don't know if that portion is going to show up on the screen when I pop the screen up. It should. But like, because some of them are like amendments and some of them are like additions, and it just like goes in, because some of these are like several hundred pages long, but then on the side table, they're like in, they're separated out. They're separated out. So we're going to have to we're going to have to work with that. We're going to have to work with that and go back and forth, because I don't want us to go hours in this live and go through all these documents just for YouTube to come in here because somebody's freaking email address was on there and it snatched it with the AI and it completely takes everything off, because they've done that before. Hey there, Jen and James. How are you doing? Welcome, Pony Girl. Welcome, welcome. No, Jack has no alibi. You so right. Jack has no alibi. And it's so funny because some stupid idiot was in my video last night saying he should sue me for defamation. I said, sue for asking questions based off facts? that are in police reports. It's not defamation for me to say that him and Kaylee got home within a minute of each other when I'm seeing it on the freaking security cameras, that this channel paid for it in the Public Information, Freedom of Information Act. That's public information. I have an opinion on that public information. You can't sue me for that. You can't sue me for saying there's a 17-minute phone call that we didn't know about for 3 years until we read about it in a report. That's a fact, Jack. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean I can be sued for it. Some people really just need to get their heads out their asses because they sound pathetic. They sound so pathetic coming out here trying to defend something. Because look what happened the very next day. Holy crap, a paper drops that has him as the #1 suspect on the paper. Suddenly, maybe I'm not so crazy to be asking questions about shit that doesn't make any sense. I just don't like people. And again, even in that video, I said, I'm not pointing fingers at anyone other than the police for this shitty ass investigation. So you're going to say that he should sue me for even saying I'm not pointing fingers at him? These are the kind of people that we share oxygen with, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. So let's just see how many morons come out of the woodworks for the actual forensic papers and the reports that are now coming from the court. Stupid people. Another thing, we get names. We get all the names. We get the names of everyone in 1112. We get names for people that made reports about pretty much everything. You get all the names. I'm fine with reading out the names. It's just like numbers and dates of birth and stuff like that. If they have stuff on here that has not been truly redacted, YouTube will definitely give me some shit. Definitely give me some shit. The frats and a few officers who are involved. I mean, there's no freaking way that that damn silver car is not the car that they were looking at, like a bunch of dumb people. Like, just dumb people. There's no other words for them. They're dumb. They're dumb. Hey there, Jamie. Hey there, Christy. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey there, Shenanigans. Hey there, MDP. No way. I saw something earlier that they had found another piece of footage from something. I didn't get to read it, and then I saw that the ex-boyfriend had come out and said something. But you know that there's 3 girls that have gone missing in that area of Bexar County this week. 3. All about the same age. All beautiful. There's something else going on in San Antonio. That's for sure. Hey there, Esther. Hey, Lady Di. How you doing? How you doing? We're going to go over as much as we can. My dad is on his way in. And usually when he gets here, because it's such a long drive, he just hangs out and watches Netflix. So we're going to see what time he gets here. And I'll probably jump off not long after he shows up. But because tomorrow there's nothing else to do for the holiday break, so I'm going to go live early tomorrow. We're going to go live twice tomorrow. Pokemon cards. You just see that McDonald's has some more Pokemon cards coming out in their new Happy Meals, and Twitter is a buzz about it. I wonder if they're like supposed to be sneaking in some special editions. Have you seen how much some of them Charizards have sold for? Holy shit. Crazy stuff. That's the $1 million question. Why did he plead guilty? Really, honestly, the $1 million question is why the judge allowed the plea to happen. Why did the judge allow the plea to happen? Hey, Majestic. How Majestic Blue? How you doing? I just don't understand that. I really don't. Be careful. Go and have fun, but be very careful. Did y'all see that they also thwarted some sort of like terrorist attack in Texas today? That was being planned for like New Year's. Like, it's not just the drunks you have to stay at home for. It's the crazies. It's the crazy. Oh, they actually have found her. I didn't. Okay, let me see. As an hour ago, it says a body has been found, but they have not determined it's her yet. Yeah, there's 3 girls that went missing. All within a few miles of each other. A body and a firearm in a field was found during the search, but they don't know if it's her yet. That's wild. Yeah, earlier today they did mention something about having new surveillance footage. Yeah, 3 girls. And then another situation in Texas happened. I think happened on Christmas Eve too. Somebody tried to kidnap a guy's daughter and he like went after him and they end up getting the guy. Something about Christmas Eve too. Like stuff's been going crazy. Stuff has been going super, super wild. We'll welcome all you guys in here. We're going to go ahead and start pulling some of these up. Hey there, Headers Better Slots. How you doing? 2 years, over 2 years. That's such a long time. That's such a long time. Thank you for the $4.99 Motive and Malice. Jack says in his first interview the day of the murders that he left the corner club at 1 a.m. and went straight home. Did he lie and go to places? No, not that we can tell. This is how it seems to line up. It looks like Kaylee and Maddie and Jack Showalter left. And their intention was to go to John's Alley, which is another bar. Their first intention was not to go get food and go home. Jack Showalter was not chaperoning them the way that the Goncalves is trying to make it sound like this was some sort of weird situation where they were being literally escorted places. That was not the situation. They were going to go to the other bar, drunk and tipsy, walking down those streets by themselves, regardless of if Jack Showalter was going with them or not. They had a plan. And for several minutes before they left, they were talking to other people about said plan and trying to go over there. So that Jack wasn't like the only person that they were talking to about going over to John's Alley either. I don't know when they decided to go get food. I don't know if they smelt it and changed directions. I don't know what changed. But the original plan was John's Alley, something that we were lied to about for some reason. Again, we got lied to about it from the Goncalveses, from like the perspective of the entire tone of the event. And then we got lied to by the police for their intentions about where they were going. They made it sound again like they were going to get food and go straight home. And that wasn't the case. Either way, it doesn't do anything either way, but like, why lie about the timeline? It's sort of important because conversations were being heard and had. So we don't know who was hearing conversations, who might have gone to John's Alley to see if they were going to show up. They didn't show up, made them even more upset. Now they're going to go look for them somewhere. We don't know. We don't know now, do we? He ends up leaving with the sober driver about 10 minutes or so, maybe, like after Kaylee and Maddie leave. Now, this is Peyton Rossi. We played this interview, and in the video that I posted yesterday, I had a shortened version of Peyton Rossi's interview because the situation was that the original Sobro, something happened with the car. He got pulled over. I don't remember the exact situation. I want to say registration or something was wrong with something with the car. And so the Peyton Rossi guy got called in to be like the replacement Sobro for the last remaining group of people that needed to be picked up from the corner club. And according to him, that was Jack and two roommates for the house. And he goes and picks them up. And right as Eric Gower is leaving, like getting to the intersection to turn out of the neighborhood, here comes Peyton Rossi's car. So they left 10 minutes apart from each other from the corner club, but because the girls spent about 10 minutes getting food, their timing perfectly lined up with like less than a minute, which we didn't know about again until we got this silent 11:12 footage, which reminds me that I need to show you guys the email real quick before we get to the documents, because I did go back and forth with them today. Well, not really back and forth. I asked for a follow-up. She gave me some bullshit, and I sent another email. So we're going to go over the other email here in a few minutes too. But we weren't told that he also got home at 1:56. The Goncalveses told us a tall tale about that entire situation. Why? Why tell us that you actually saw the girls getting dropped off? You didn't see shit. You saw some freaking headlights pull in and a car leave that you didn't recognize because you didn't know Eric. He was not a family member like you tried to say. He was a stranger to you. You can't hear anything. And everyone's really confused about this footage because they're lying to us, in my opinion, about there being sound. And the one thing I haven't used as ammo yet, at least I don't think that I've even mentioned this to them, is Steve Goncalves having a copy of this. Like, I know the cops freaking have to know that that's been used as ammo by him for a while. I'm not stupid. They have to know it. But I didn't mention the 5 minutes of sound when I confronted them about the silence the first time, because I wanted to see what they were going to do. I knew that they were going to come back and double down, because that's always been what they've done. You seem to remember when it came to the 1255 to the 225 to begin with, she told me that was it, that they didn't have it. She didn't know why the report said that that's all that they had. Whatever. She calls me back. Oh, we found it. It was in a subfolder. I got with Tim Smaldridge and we found it, which is why I mentioned in the email, you know, let's not forget that this has already been a disorganized mess, basically. You already had to have help to find something. You probably need to do a little bit more to find this file. The disorganization here is really gross. But if they come back one more time, again, trying to tell me, oh, no, it is. That's it. No, because Steve Goncalves has a copy of it with sound. And here's the proof of it. Here is him giving it to Brett Norton and saying, hey, I have this leaked camera footage, just like he told News Nation. And that's what he used to say that the sounds on Linden Lane were not accurate. Well, Mr. Man, if you've got 1112, then home dude, you heard those screams at 227 and you've been holding that shit in for 3 years. You and your wife and Olivia and your son and Chronicles of Olivia and everybody else that you've given access to that shit to, your lawyer, everybody, they've all heard that damn scream at 227, and y'all decided to just not say anything? Or are you lying, and is the version that you have also silent? I don't know, because I can't trust anything that Steve says. Nothing. He could tell me his date of birth and show it to me on his driver's license, and I'd still call him a liar. That's the reputation he has. So I don't know if anything is ever going to iron out in this situation, because it seems like every time we try to get a little bit of answers, somebody else comes up with some crazy. Someone else comes up with some crazy. Thank you for the gifted membership, Kimberly. Oh, no, you were right. No, you were right. Thank you for the $4.99 again. No, but no, you were right. He probably did say something around that time. I don't know if he was looking at his phone in the interview. But I know for a fact Peyton Rossi pulls out his phone in that little interview clip, and I think he says the time is like 1:49. It's like pretty much the same exact freaking time that Eric shows up. Yeah, it's like almost the exact same time that Eric shows up to Grub Truck. Jack Decor is sending a message to Peyton. Like the timings are just like right there. But that's what I just don't know. Like, do the Goncalveses have information about 156 and the girls going in the house and them taking the dogs out because they actually have this on a camera that they can hear and obviously not see? Or do they only know that because Jack Decor witnessed all of that happening? Did he actually go over to 1122 that night? Because remember, there's that walkway where the footprints were going that the cops saw, and it goes to Jack's freaking house. I know that in the very beginning of this, I really wondered if Bethany did see a naked guy running away, if it was Jack Decor and the attack was going on and Jack Decor was in the house messing around with Kaylee when somebody came in and he ran away like a little bee. That was one of my original thoughts. Ask my buddy about that one. That's what I thought. Maybe that's why they were hiding it. And then whenever Steve Goncalves looked at him, the way he looked at him at that memorial, I was like, oh, okay. But I don't know. I know that they try to say that she was calling him over there to come and get a vape, and just, by convenience, a vape was in the bed with her, right? No one else found that strange? I find that very strange. I don't know. Okay, let me show you guys the email real quick. Oh, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Header's better. Thank you so much. All right, let me show you guys. And I did see somebody say something about how if we were going to talk about the fingerprinting, I did have a picture of the police report about Jack not getting his fingerprints taken until May in the last video. But let me go ahead and pull it up right here so I can show you guys real quick which narrative it is. Let me go pull the screenshot. So I have the page number. It's one of the further down ones. It took me a minute to find it. And at first I thought it was with the ISP record. So I was going through all of that, like going a little crazy, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I believe it's this one. Yeah, and it was done by Andrew Fox, who's the one who put all the footages together. Which supplement is this? Sequence number 311. See, it's all the way at the freaking bottom. Hold on, I'll show you guys this in just a second. Get the screen up. Just so I can show you the proof for that. Because I don't know how. How do you clear someone who you don't even have their fingerprints? How? They went and met Jack Showalter at the jail to get all of his fingerprints. But they cleared Jack Ducour without fingerprints. I don't understand that. All right, let me pull this up right here. This is supplemental number... where's it at? Right here. Oh, hold on. Let me move this out the way. No, that's not going to work. I'll just make this part bigger. Ooh, that's a lot. That was a lot. Hold on. Let me make this bigger for y'all. As much as I can anyway. Yeah. May 29th, 2025, Idaho State Patrol Lieutenant Darren Gilbertson called and advised that JD was scheduled to provide fingerprints at the ISP lab in Coeur d'Alene at 1300 hours. Lieutenant Gilbertson requested that I respond to the ISP lab at that time and take custody of the fingerprints so they could be booked into evidence at the Moscow Police Department and then be sent to the ISP lab in Boise. I responded to the ISP lab and met with ISP staff and observed Jack provide the requested prints. The prints were sealed in an ISP envelope by ISP staff and provided to me. The chain of custody was filled out on the envelope and sealed with evidence tape. May 29th, 2025. 1 month. 1 month before the plea. 1 month before the plea. I find that insane. Okay, let me read you guys this email that I sent them real quick, and then we'll get started on the other documents that came out today. But this is just to make sure that you guys are all caught up on all the things. Oh, it closed. Hold on a second. Okay, so now share screen. Where's it at? Right there. Okay. Okay, so I asked them today because I didn't say anything to them yesterday because it was a Monday. I left it alone. Just left it alone. But then today I said, "Good morning. I was wondering if there was any updates on looking for the record with sound. I know we are once again in a holiday week, but I thought that I would ask." That was at 10:59, an hour, less than an hour later, she says, and they won't tell me which detective it is. She just keeps saying the detective. I want to know who it is. "I just got off the phone with the detective. He confirmed that the files you have received are the only ones with audio. He confirmed that they did not attempt to gain audio for the surveillance footage before 2:30 a.m. on 11/13/22. Notice the freaking timestamp that she says. Before 2:30 a.m. on 11/13/22. Now, if you remember, everything that I sent before this was a detailed record of all of the different versions of this that they had. From Maury taking it on his work phone, putting it on a device in order to put it on a DVD, in order to put it in storage for evidence, to the cloud copies, to the fact that they actually did have like the password and the logins. And then we have Andrew Fox, who had his own versions that he then put together and stitched into 17 different pieces and put on a portable storage device. And then Sarah D. Irish mentioned how there was also one used for the grand jury. But since everything that we heard from Ann Taylor was a whole year after the grand jury and after Andrew Fox already did his thing, which again happened after the grand jury, Andrew Fox touched all these and forensically put them together, or whatever he did to stitch them together, in June of 2023 after the grand jury. So if Ann Taylor's talking about stuff with no sound, I don't know if she's talking about the one she has that year later, or if the one that was presented at the grand jury, which would have been, as far as I can tell, something derived off that DVD that Mowry created, is what had no sound. But there's a reason, again, why I did not mention the fact which how they don't know at this point because of all the chaos that 227 scream caused, I don't know. But there's a reason why I didn't mention the damn 5 minutes of sound that we actually have from that, because you saw what she just said. They did not attempt to gain audio for the surveillance footage before 2:30. Yeah, funny. That screams at 2:27. Amber, I am not playing with you. You better go and find the shit. I'm not even kidding. Does the detective realize that at 2:25 a.m. to 3:30 timestamp has sound for this silent time frame? There is a scream heard at 2:27 a.m. in the first set of footage sent to me by you in the 2:25 to 3:30 a.m. time frame as mentioned above. 2:27 and 12 seconds to be exact. The same timestamp as at the end of this silent time frame from 12:55 to 2:30 a.m. So she's lying, or the detective is lying. You can't say you did not attempt to get sound before 2:30 and the scream that's freaking everyone out at 2:27, a whole 3 minutes before that. Miss me with it. Lied to somebody else. Seriously. Detective, I said, okay, I need to calm down because I'm getting so mad. I understand you spoke with them, but there being sound in part of the silent time frame that shows up in another cut proves that statement to be false. Detective Mowry indeed downloaded videos with sound on his work phone before placing them on a DVD. He mentions the audio specifically in his report that I attached to the previous email. Please forward the detective these exact details / this specific email in order for them to see verbatim what is being asked. Telephone conversations, well, we all played that game as children. Police reports should reflect fact. If there is indeed no audio, then a supplemental record should be produced and attached to the case file. We saw several supplemental records in the public release. None of them mention the audio not being present in only part of the video. I know there is a different police chief now, but I'm sure that he would appreciate the detective being as thorough as possible, especially considering the specific file and the remaining reported footage had to be tracked down as it was being stored in all separate folders you needed help to find. Thanks again. I'm done. I don't care how much of an asshole I sound anymore. I'm just tired of them playing all the games. I'm tired of them playing all of the games. I'm literally so freaking over it. So we'll see what they do, because at this point they're just showing again they're full of shit. 2:30? What are you even talking about 2:30 for? You definitely have sound before 2:30. Nice try. Nice try. Try again. Harder next time. Dumb. Unbelievable. I just got to check my phone, make sure it's my dad or not. Nope, not yet. Okay. I mean, I feel like I've been pretty patient. I've been really, really patient. I've been dealing with this since October. We've been dealing with this since October. And it went into November 4th is when they found the other files in the subfolder. And that's when the additional time frame was supposed to be amended to the FOIA. But Amber effed it up. She didn't amend it correctly. It was never pulled to be worked on. And she's just like not getting any sort of anything for being crappy at her job. And she self-admits, like she admitted on the phone, she didn't do any of the things that she was supposed to do. If I sat there and not only fumbled this bad on a daily freaking basis, but also admitted to it on the phone, There's no way that I would still have a job. There's no way that I would still have a job. There's just no way. Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Like, I'm giving you freaking specifics. I know damn well that all she did with her lazy freaking ass is call whoever the detective is, and it's probably freaking Mallory, and say, hey, that girl who did the 1112 King Road camera is asking if there's any sound anywhere because she's mad that there's no sound. Yeah, no, that's all we got. So, yeah, what we gave her is what we got. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, bye. That's the conversation. Bet my salary on it, bro. That's the conversation that was had. She didn't give him specifics and say, okay, well, she found all these different reports that show all the different filings. I'm going to send this to you so that you can tell me where exactly this would be. No, none of that was done. The incompetence here is so stupid. I can't believe it. It's a Home Eye Pro. Home Eye Pro. Again, this dude is so incompetent. He had the password to the cloud account where he could have gotten all the footage on the 13th. But instead of just logging the hell in and doing all the things he ended up doing on the 19th, they dilly-dallied. They went back and forth. They put the camera back. They gave back the SD card. They had to wait around to be able to go get it and then wait around for the person that lived there to come back so they can go back out there again. All he had to do was what he ended up doing, downloading the Home Eye Pro app to his work phone, logging in with the credentials he was already given 3 days prior, and download all of it the way he ended up doing. He wasted 3 days and allowed other people to have access to this footage for 3 days. And I don't know. This is a question that I asked in the very beginning. Knowing, again, based on reports, that people were remotely viewing the footage before the cops had it, because someone emailed the police and said, hey, I was watching that when y'all came and janked it away from the house, but just in case, you might want to check this vehicle out. That's the birth of SV1. The birth of SV1 came from an email that was sent over because somebody was remotely watching those cameras and the access got revoked because the cops came and pulled it from the house and they contacted the cops. From there, Lawrence Mallory went in and grabbed all of the clippings for the, 356 to 420 time frame that this person told him about. And I went and got those pieces and clipped them all together and posted them for you guys to see how many cars coming in and out weren't mentioned by this person, weren't mentioned by Mallory as he was discussing it. And this is what ended up being SV1. And there's multiple vehicles that go in and out, including Molly's car, including the cop car. But that's the birth of SV1, that report right there. That report right there. Okay, so let me get this like resituated because I am really not liking how this is working right here. Give me 1 second to pull this all apart. Hold on. No, not like that. Can I not pull this out of her? I don't want this here. But I want to save that too. Oh, this isn't going to work for me. This is going to annoy me. Okay, 1 second. Let me open this in another thing. I was trying to do my split screen thing the way that I did before, but for some reason it just does not look like it's supposed to. In a way of like allowing me to finagle the size of what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, I don't know what this did. Hold on. I don't know what this is doing. Hold on, this is acting like a little bit of a crackhead. Hold on a second. Get rid of this part. All right, I'm still here on this side. Okay. That's better. Okay, let me go ahead and pull this up now. What do you mean disappeared? If you're not inside the US, you've got to fix your VPN. And I know some people are saying, oh, I can't access it because of a VPN. How do y'all think I access stuff? I don't tell y'all about Aura and like have a link for Nord and not use VPNs. I'm accessing it from a VPN. I don't know, change it to where you're in the US and see if it lets you do it. But I'm still on the website. Like it's oh no, it's right here. Hold on. All of them are still here. Now what I will probably do, because I'm going in and putting a lot of markings on these, like I'm going in and like doing this kind of stuff, I'll probably end up taking these and like printing them out to PDF and putting them on the Google Drive. But as for the documents themselves, they're on the thingy. I can't sit there and print them all out and add them to the Google Drive. They're on the website. Y'all are gonna have to finagle y'all's VPN. You can lie about where you are. Well, then you should be able to access it with no problem with no VPN in the US. But I'm clicking on stuff actively, like in the page itself, and everything is still loading. See, I'll click on this. That one just went away. Oh no. Y'all cursed me. Y'all cursed me. It's gone. They really did, bro. Well, that's fine because I got some of them pulled up already. They really did that shit. They really did that shit. But look, I'm telling you right now, I went through them. There was nothing special in them. Nothing I saw. I only key, like I control F to try to find like certain words for things that I was looking for and didn't see anything special. They sure did get rid of them. They sure did. Well, I still have these right here. I have this one right here that came from Wilt. I'm going to go ahead and print to PDF this damn thing. I guess I'm going to have to go ahead and put them in the Google Drive now. If I have to sit here and literally take extra time to start doing this, because like for super important ones, I always end up putting them on the USB drive, like after the fact. But if I'm going to have to sit here and start doing this for everything because these people are so pathetic, that really tells me that they probably realized that they didn't do the redactions right. Remember how I just said, and in my previous video, I was like, they didn't redact the freaking phone numbers. You can see the whole freaking phone number. You can see everyone's address. I bet the dumbasses realized that, and they took them down. That's fine. I am going to take this 148-page one from Wilt and add it to the Google Drive for you guys real quick. Because we going to figure out how to do something. We're going to do it anyway. Forensic biology report for Wilt. Let me go ahead and add this to this. What the frick do you mean? What? It just told me, okay, I uploaded it and it told me this file has no data. So I printed to PDF it and then it didn't actually give me the data. It didn't give me the data. What? So I can keep it open and I can look at it all day long, but I can't print it. You guys, I'm looking at it. I can still like mark on it. These freaking hookers. $148 screenshots. I mean, at this point, are they giving me a damn choice? Because this is the one that has Jack as the freaking lead suspect right here. See that? We still got this one. We still got this one, though. Unbelievable. These freaking weirdos. Oh, my God. So they only kept these two right here about the jury questionnaire that no one gives two shits about. Wow. I'm telling you right now, it's because the redactions were bad. Let's see if there's any changes to this. Yeah, C12, 29:25, 2:52 p.m. That's what happened. I'll bet you anything that's what happened. I mean, that's fine. We have 148 pages right here we can go over anyway. Unbelievable. I mean, yeah. And Maori's has like everyone's names. I'll just go right here and show you. Hold on. When it comes to the 1112 camera, he's got all of their names in here. What was the first girl's name? Paige Carter is the girl who had the camera. Can I hold it? Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's a different way that I can save it, because when I tried to print to PDF it, it won't let me. Let me see. Maybe I should give it a second. Let it like load up this way first. Okay, so it magically like shows up in the print to PDF thing. So let me try again. Now that I've allowed it to load. Save. I don't print hard copies. I don't do that. I tried to do the whole print hard copy thing. That shit costs way too much money. It's not even worth it. It is not worth it. It won't open. It won't even open, bro. Let me try to re-upload this one to this. How does it show me all of the freaking pages when I go to print to PDF it, but it still doesn't let me actually like file unreadable? When I upload it to Google Drive, it says file unreadable. These losers, bro. Oh, you some losers. Anyway, the person that freaked me out because they had an issue with the car that started SV1, his name is Charles Nico. And his sister, Mora Kaido, is the reason why he was looking at the footage. I want to know what about that vehicle at 356 to 420 was so concerning with him that he felt the need to call the cops about it. I'm just saying, I find that very strange. And I have for like a while, ever since we read that report. I cannot believe they took that shit down. They really did that shit. They really did that shit. But if I have it already open, I don't understand why I can't print it. Why can I not print it if I have the whole file open? That's pretty dumb. I know I don't care about the jury questionnaire stuff. Interesting. Copy and paste to Word. I mean, that's going to look so bad. That's going to look so shitty because it's not going to have any of its margins. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Like, I'll like try to do it just like with this one page, but I know that it's going to end up looking horrible. Oh, come on. Turn the highlighter off. Why is this highlight? I didn't want that highlighted. If you don't get your ish together. Let me see what this looks like if I pop it over here. Oh, gosh. No. No. It makes it a big old blob of nothing. It just puts it all together in a big old block. No. That's wild. Yeah, I'm not using the snipping tool for all these pages. That's not happening. That's not happening. I don't hate myself. That's wild, bro. That kind of like tells you they're hiding some shit and that they're incompetent as F. Okay, whatever. We're gonna look at what we can, because I'm pretty sure by tomorrow they'll have something. I'm gonna call the courthouse in the morning. And this isn't Amber. This isn't that incompetent office. This is the other incompetent office. This is Boise. This is Ada, however you say it, County doing these. That's why they still have the Bryan Kohberger website for Pullman. I mean, not for Pullman, for Boise. Because it's still in that venue, even though it's done in Overith. They're still the ones filing stuff to the courthouse paperwork. So they're incompetent all around. Incompetent all around. Yes, incompetent all around. Let's see if it lets me save a copy. Okay, so it let me open that after I saved it. Now let me go to Google Drive and see if it let me upload this and it be readable. Because if it lets me save it, that's a completely different thing. Oh, you freaking beautiful geniuses. Whoever said to save it. You beautiful genius, you. That just worked. Okay, it's uploading. This one's uploading. Which one is this? Is this Wilt's report still? No, this is, okay, so this is Maori's. As soon as it's done uploading to the Google Drive, I'll drop a link to the folder so that you guys can go get y'all's own copy. The save worked. So let me save Wilt's to the download folder. Okay. File upload U2. Damn, I wish I would have had them all open. I cannot believe. I'm gonna try some shit. Hold on a second. Do I have them in my history? I wonder if they'd pull up at the old stuff from my history. It's worth a shot. Yeah. They deleted the whole file itself. Okay, so Maori's is ready. Where it be? Zero 03 2425. Okay. Here is the link to the file for Maori in the Google Drive. And then here is the one for the forensic report from Wilt's in the Google Drive. That way you guys have y'all's own copy of that too. I cannot believe that they just janked them off the website like that. Because they were like right here in this area. All of them too. They wasted no time. I mean, they still had them up there for like a while. I'm just messing with like all of my histories of popping all these open today. Just to see if by chance something opens up. Nords, no. That's crazy. Well, I'm sure that they effed up something. As they freaking always seem to. As they always seem to. Absolutely stupid. Okay, so let's go ahead and read through some of these. Or actually, let's look at some of Maori's. Because in Mallory's, it has information from interviews that we were looking at. But see the full phone number? I'm just going to assume... Oh, thank you for the 199, Whitney. Of all the new ones? Okay. I'll go pull some of those after this so that we can look at these. And I'll save them just in case they don't put them back. I'll save them just in case they don't put them back. Okay. I do remember there is a page on Reddit that always ends up putting them out too. Okay. Okay, so let's start with Mallory, and we'll just do the best we can, and if they do something stupid, then we'll figure that out as we go, I guess. So this is the report where they had Olivia messaging Mallory about information, and it shows here exactly what we've already said, that they had their communications. They had Jack and Kaylee's communications, text messages between them, and the phone call log. So again, I don't know how they were just okay with not telling us the truth between Kaylee and Jack. I don't know. Now, when it comes to Jack's phone download, there's issues with that too, because apparently the actual subpoena for the warrant wasn't actually issued by the time they had the download information. And I don't think I had noticed that before today. That report's like one of these earlier ones. So we'll get to it today. But that's a problem, because if there's anything on it that they needed to use, they technically couldn't because the warrant wasn't issued correctly. So I don't know how that would work. Like if it has something to do with Jack and the warrant wasn't issued correctly in order for them to obtain the forensic download by the time they actually obtained the forensic download, and if there was something on there that was on both phones because it was between Jack and Kaylee, would it not be admissible even with a warrant from Kaylee's side because they screwed up Jack's side? I don't know how that works if it's a two-way situation. All I know is that they did not do the warrant correctly for his phone download information. And that's crazy to me. I want to know what this screenshot was. I have an issue with the one that was sent to me. Somebody sent me an email saying that this was the message that was apparently posted from Dylan Mortensen or whatever. But the account, like the verbiage and the wording was the complete opposite of any and everything that we've ever heard from her face. And by now we've heard everything from her face. And she's never mentioned blood or anything else. So I don't really know how much I can really trust all of that. I'd like to FOIA it off of this report and see exactly what it was that was said for them to believe that this person had information about the crime itself. But whatever the account was, the names that it was associated with is Jake Schreiger and Lakeland and Maddie. And we know that Lakeland was the one that was with the girls on the way to the corner club and with Maddie. And with Dylan later on that night before the girls got home. So eventually I'm going to want that information. This is just where he got the Twitch information. This is Eric Gower. See, I just had to hurry because it does show all the digits ever, which is so ridiculous. I'm telling you, that's why they took it down, because they didn't do that. They didn't redact any of the damn numbers or anything like that like they were supposed to. That was the whole reason for us waiting. That was the entire reason for us waiting. So again, we have Paige Carter. Move this over some. So okay. Is that still okay? Okay, there we go. I think that's going to work. Okay. So we have Paige Carter being the one who had the Home iPro phone access. This is all the same information that we've already read. None of that was redacted except for the names. I would really like to know more about this guy, simply because, again, I find it odd that you were remote viewing it and you honed in on this car. What do you know on the 17th or 18th? On the 18th. What do you know on the 18th? as the brother of some random girl that lives at 1112 that's making you look at that time frame, because nothing about the crime was even announced, really. I mean, yeah, I guess we had the press conference on like the 16th or whatever it was. But for him to be looking in there and then also want to contact the police about what he saw, again, while there's multitudes of other vehicles going in and out during the time frame he's saying he's concerned about, I find that strange. So I don't know what his intentions were with that. Who knows? You don't know it on the 18th that early in. You have no freaking clue. But this is just the same report that I just used against them, trying to get the damn information. Now, I think that this is a situation that a lot of people get confused with the Linda Lane cameras. So when it comes to the Linda Lane cameras, we were told some lame bullshit about how, oh, it does some reset and that's why there's footage missing. I don't know if that's accurate. The way that some of it's missing on certain cameras in the same time frame as it missing on other cameras. Who resets their shit at 3 o'clock in the morning? That shit don't make no sense. But we also had heard something about the internet at the university being down. But again, that wouldn't have anything to do with King Road because, number one, this is an off-campus house that had nothing to do with the school. And number two, the internet bill was in Kaylee's name. As far as I'm understanding, she was the one responsible for the bill. So when they went to go get Charter Spectrum information, whatever had happened in them being able to pull all of the data for the Wi-Fi router, they lost information from November 8th to the 10th. So the days that Kaylee was gone and she was at her parents' house, because the 10th was when she bought the car, the Range Rover, they lost data of what was going on in that house Wi-Fi wise for the 8th through the 10th. They've got the 13th and the 14th, but the fact that there's just like days missing is interesting. We probably did touch on that before when we read it through the first time, but I know that there's still some people mentioning the internet reset or some stuff like that. And I feel like there's like 3 different stories that sort of circulated about that. Okay, here it is. Oh my God. Okay. I feel like we probably read this because I don't remember this report not being in there. I remember Mike Van Leuven being mentioned, but for some reason when I read it today, it hit me in a way that I don't remember we talked about this. And it's important. So this is important because the search warrants are like the entire time, like the entire thing is to make sure that things are done with the process, with the protocol. The search warrants have to be adequate. If a search warrant is not done correctly, we already see like what can happen in those situations. So let me read this report to you. This was done on 11/17/22. On November 17th, 2022, Jack Jacor was interviewed by Sergeant Mike Van Leuven from the Idaho State Police at the ISP District 1 office. At this time, he provided his phone to Sergeant Van Leuven, and this is where it's weird to me. I'm trying to figure out what it all means because he gave consent right here, but then the warrant not being served at the right time is mentioned at the bottom. That's why it's confusing. He gave consent to search for on the phone. That phone is an iPhone XR, and then there's the IMEI number, transported to the Coeur d'Alene Police Department Forensic Lab at 3818 Schreiber Way in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I applied for and was granted a search warrant to access the contents of the iPhone. So you applied for one, and it was approved. That's why the bottom sentence doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what they're trying to say. The phone was to be extracted by Detective Dustin Taylor of the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. Detective Mike Van Leuven had taken the phone to Dustin Taylor at the Computer Forensic Lab at Coeur d'Alene. I emailed a copy of the warrant to him at 16:43 hours. So at this point, there's consent. There's an application for a search warrant. And there's a granted search warrant, and now he's emailed the search warrant over to Coeur d'Alene. Again, that's why this last paragraph is not going to make sense to me. On November 18th, 2022, while confirming Detective Taylor received the warrant, I was informed the phone was no longer at Coeur d'Alene Police Department. Idaho State Police Lieutenant Paul Berger picked up the phone from Taylor and delivered it to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, where investigative analyst Vince Gimno received it. The data on the phone was forensically extracted at that location. So to me, that means that since the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is the one that actually did the extraction, the warrant for the information would need to reflect the Spokane County Sheriff's Office being the one that actually did the extraction. So I don't understand why this phone got shuffled around and Mr. Expert in all things electronic over here was not informed of where the evidence was going. So it got picked up from Coeur d'Alene by an ISP officer and brought to Spokane. That's 3 different departments, and none of them thought to let Lawrence Mallory know, hey, we're going to move the phone to Spokane. He had to find that out himself. So they're just playing hot potato. The same way they did with the phone call to 911, they're playing hot potato with Jack DeCour's phone. On November 19th, 2022, Idaho State Police Detective Reich Alderson, I don't think I've ever seen a name like that before, retrieved the phone from the forensic lab and delivered the phone to DeCour's mother per the attorney's wishes. On November 21st, 2022, Detective Anderson of the Idaho State Police provided Sergeant Van Leuven with a USB drive containing the extraction. Sergeant Van Leuven then provided the USB drive to me, and it was placed into the secure forensic lab at the Moscow Police Department. You mean in some random-ass manila folder? An examination will be completed at my earliest convenience, which is never. Since the warrant was not served, I did not complete a warrant return receipt as nothing was collected. What do you mean? This paragraph makes no sense to me because, for one, there was a warrant served, but it went to a different location to be forensically downloaded. There was a forensic download done. So what do you mean that nothing was collected? You have a USB drive. Am I wrong in being confused? I feel confused. I feel confused. So I don't know what's the point in this report because I feel like it's all over the place. And again, just the simple fact they played hot potato with this damn phone and didn't even tell the agency that's actually in charge of the investigation that it was being moved makes no sense to me. But again, I don't understand how you could say nothing was collected while you have a USB drive containing the extraction. I don't understand. I don't understand. So we'll see what they say about that. I don't know what they're supposed to do with that information. That's weird to me, and it goes all over the place. Okay, so this is a bunch of different interviews that Mallory did on the 13th, I believe, when it comes to everyone that we saw the interviews and stuff already for. All I was doing was like going in and just like making corrections to stuff that we already had seen to be incorrect and stuff that we had already had questions about. But it's no new information because, again, we've already had the audio. We've already actually heard the interview. What I'd like to do at some point, though, is to go in and play the interview while having the reports from the police like up on the screen, just so that we can see the lies and the inconsistencies. Because like I said in that email, the police report's supposed to be factual. It shouldn't be your recollection based off of your missing Ginkgo biloba memory. You should be able to pull up the audio, pull up the damn interview, and rewatch it and make sure that everything that you're putting in that report is correct. Not, again, based off your not actually accurate memory. So the fact that there's discrepancies and stuff like the first responder body cam reports and discrepancies in these reports, the reports are what were used for the PCA and for the continuation of everything. And the reports are usually wrong, with the wrong information. All with the wrong information. But again, these are interviews we've already gone over, and there's no point in like touching on them too much right now because we've already gone through them. I was looking for anything else that was redacted from the previous ones. But again, these are in a different order than the way that we actually got them, because the way that we got them before, they were in some sort of supplemental number order. And the way that they are here is with name. With name. See right here? Okay, so here's where... See? Okay, so it says Jack 2 Core's thing is right here, too, when it comes to forensic downloads. Dylan's, Bethany's, Jack's, Emily's, and Maisie's. What about Hunter's? Morton. See, if Decor signed consent right here, I don't know what's up with all that extra stuff. I was informed by Corporal Brett Payne Funk provided verbal consent for her phone to be just extracted. But no signed consent from her? And where's Hunter? Why are you not taking Hunter's phone? Johnson and Chapin. See, these are going to be like, those are like, hold on. These are like actual email addresses. This right here is exactly why I'm gonna put this example in the chat. Do not send anything to this email. If you are any kind of actual adult, you'll take this as a damn example and don't do nothing stupid. But this right here is the reason why they were supposed to have redacted these things. The only thing it should be showing of that is at gmail.com. And instead it's showing the full-on phone numbers and the full-on email addresses, and they were not supposed to do any of that. It's literally in the damn reports. It's literally in the order that those things were supposed to be re-freaking-acted. So I'm going to have to be super careful with a lot of these, just like I mentioned, because someone's going to try to probably do something stupid. Like it's on purpose. Let me stop sharing until I find the next one, because I don't want a whole bunch of stuff popping up that don't need to be on the screen. Plus, I gave you guys a copy on the Google Drive, so y'all can go and grab that stuff too. So here we have Xana's thing, Maddie's, like social media, all their handles are finally showing up. Okay, so here's something about the phones. It does. It says it in the court order. We went over it already. That's specifically what it says. It says it's supposed to close out the IDs, only show not to show the username of the email address, and only the last 4 digits of the phone numbers are supposed to be showing. That's exactly what the order said in Hippler's order. He didn't say no redactions. He did not say no redactions. They do the personal. I really don't want to bring up the order again. He specifically said anything that is personally identifying information when it comes to dates of birth, social security numbers, phone numbers, and email addresses were supposed to be redacted accordingly. That's what the order said. Having the names is one thing. He was very specific about what needed to be redacted in the order. So here we have, is this the Coeur d'Alene Department right here? Yeah, I contacted Detective David Taylor of the Coeur d'Alene Police Department with the request for an agency assist. Unlocking cell phones for just the victims. Transported to Coeur d'Alene Police Department. Brute force attempt to unlock. Unable to extract from any of the locked phones. They were then returned to Moscow on the 17th. It's amazing how incapable all of these departments seem. They can't open the freaking surveillance footage from 11/12. They can't extract any information from the phone. They're literally useless. Literally useless. How many millions of dollars in resources are spent just for them to not know how to do anything? They had to send it over to Walla. Is that what it just said? To like a smaller department to get it done. Walla Walla Police Department. So the smaller department was able to get the phones unlocked and everything extracted. Moscow's a joke. Moscow is a joke. So there's Kaylee's Yahoo stuff that they downloaded. Oh, buddy. Tinder names. Tinder names. And I mean, it's just like numbers, but apparently Eli is a person. And then whoever big dude 2233 is. Jesus Christ. Y'all really name yourselves that kind of stupid shit? Like what? Guys are so funny, I swear. Okay, let's see. More Tinder data. Yeah. Okay. More Tinder data. This is for Maddie's that had literally had nothing on it. DoorDash. Ooh. Is Molly's name in here at all? No. Molly's name is not in here at all. How many times is DoorDash mentioned? 6. All in one paper. Okay. All right. So we have DoorDash was not... See, the DoorDash warrant was not even issued until December 6th. And I always found that ridiculous considering how long after the crime that actually is. That is such a long time after the crime to file the damn DoorDash warrant. Instagram accounts. Reddit warrant service for Kaylee. More stuff for Kaylee. More stuff with Kaylee. I can't show all that stuff right there, the emails. So this Reddit account for Kaylee was registered, right? Registered November 18th, 2020. And there was one message post located, I think we saw this part, which was posted on January 22nd, 2021 under the subreddit skincare addiction with the following text. Any idea what would cause this type of acne? Never struggled with acne before. I started developing these types of bumps on my jawline, chin, and down my neck. The rest of my face is clear. I am on a non-hormonal birth control, copper IUD. Tried everything to get rid of it and nothing helps. And then there was a 2021 Reddit recap. And that was it. And that was it. Thank you for the 2, Witchy Was. Something needs to happen. I know that the lawsuit is most likely still ongoing when it comes to WSU, but I don't see how Moscow can't be sued for incompetence. Thank you for joining. Sexy CC. Thank you for joining. Thank you for the 5, Rosie. Thank you so much. So I don't know what they're gonna do with all this stuff. Okay, so this is the original Amazon warrants, and this is what people need to remember here. When they applied for Amazon to get information in November of 2022, nothing that came back from Amazon had anything to do with Bryan Kohberger. We need to remember that, because even going back in, they said it themselves, going back in to everything that they have received from 11/13 to 12/20, when they sat down and had the meeting, they had the phone call on 12/19, giving them Bryan's name. And remember, Brett Payne said that they were not told for what. They were not told that we did the IgG or the knife sheath DNA, that we swabbed. This is the guy that was found on the knife sheath. They didn't know any of that until the next day. They were just given a name. They said, and this is important for the 11/29 car stuff that happened at WSU too, they specifically stated that they went back into everything that they had prior to that, and his name was nowhere. So you need to take that into consideration when the date of this is November 26, 2022, and they're sending this information in for what they believe to be the correct serial number on Amazon for the knife sheath that they believe matches this knife on Amazon. Kohberger's name was not in the information that came back to them. They said it themselves. There was nothing. And they had this information by the 8th. Nothing was there. So I don't know what that means. All I know is that we still haven't seen an Amazon receipt. And that's crazy. And that's crazy. Yeah, he was actually listed as a suspect on the 5th of December, and that was some sort of printing error that the ISP forensic people have already come out and given an excuse for, because apparently every time that the pages are printed, the system goes in and tries to fill in all of the blanks and make any corrections that have been updated in the system that aren't reflected in like the documentation. So considering that these were all printed in July of 2025, it went in and filled in spots that technically were not filled in back in the day, is what it says. But we've had that number one suspect above Bryan Kohberger's name for 3 years, 3 years worth of these reports from the forensic lab. And I understand if it's going to like fill in gaps or whatever, but you've kept a redacted name up there for 3 years, and it's the same person that y'all didn't fingerprint for 3 years. I mean, if you didn't clear him off your list, if the code wasn't updated to clear Jack DuCourt off the list, what am I supposed to think about that? How am I supposed to take that? It's just so stupid. Okay, so this is, what are the other reports about the light bulb camera? Okay, so this is when Tori Long gets back in town on December 22nd. This would be the one random day in December that they also have camera footage for this camera. Upon arrival, I unplugged the power to the current router and removed the camera from the light socket to the exterior of the residence. I then powered on the router I had secured from the residence earlier and installed the camera I secured as evidence earlier into the light socket. He likes to like repeat himself a little bit. While installing the camera, I heard a crack because he broke that damn thing and felt the light bulb base mount become loose. It should be noted the approximate temperature outside while installing the camera was between 5 and 9 degrees. So I think he's basically trying to say that it was frozen, and that's why it cracked. That's YouTube. It's on subscriber only. It's just YouTube tripping. YouTube likes to do that stupid shit. Okay. I previously had installed the new SD card into the camera and powered on the router and camera at the Moscow Police Department to ensure the camera was functional. But again, you didn't even need it. People were remote viewing this shit by logging into the Home iPro app the same way that you did. You didn't, the router being plugged back in at Moscow is just some extra technical bullshit that wasn't necessary. Again, all he had to do was download the app and log in from anywhere. Anywhere. It didn't have to have the Wi-Fi router. Him doing all that is just him trying to sound smart. When in reality, he did a whole bunch of long way bullshit that was completely unnecessary and technically jeopardized evidence for 3 days, if you want to be technical about it. I was then able to monitor the camera using the Home iPro app on my phone. Oh, look at that. Corporal Brett Payne was able to drive a white-colored vehicle into the view of the camera. Sergeant Dustin Blaker parked a vehicle near the residence and closed the doors and trunk on a vehicle for audio comparison. The K9 unit from Lewis County Sheriff's Office was utilized to capture barking audio comparison from the residence. I want this footage. This is the one day in December that would have all these sounds on it. I'm going to FOIA this. I don't know how much it'll cost. I don't care. It shouldn't be that long. And she didn't give me a timestamp of how long it was. She just said, oh, in one random day in December. I don't know for what. So I guess this is it. Upon completion of the data collection, I powered off the evidentiary router and removed the camera from the light socket. In doing so, the base detached from the camera and a wire became disconnected. I gathered the router and camera, placed them back into their evidentiary bags, and returned them to the secure computer forensic lab. I reinstalled the current camera and reconnected the power to the new router. I contacted Long to ensure she could access her camera, and she responded in the affirmative. Corporal Payne and I then ensured the residence was locked and left the residence without further incident. So she wasn't even home when they were doing all this stuff. Yeah, sorry, I don't trust you, broski. I'm not just going to let you up in my house. I don't like you. You're untrustworthy. I don't want you in my ish. And I thought the whole point of them having to wait was for the chick to be back in the first place. Wasn't that the whole point? Was for, oh, you can't go over there and get it right now because I'm out of town? Okay. Okay. But yeah, I'd like to FOIA that. I would like to FOIA that. Okay, so here comes some of Kohberger's Gmail warrants. But none of these are going to have like the attached information that was found. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want like the actual information from all the downloads and all the things. See right here, Kohberger's phone extraction was done by Special Agent Jeffrey Tenzola. They did the IgG, they did the car, they did all the things. They put it on a Seagate 2 terabyte external drive. And then they put a warrant in for it. See, that's another thing. If they had to use... If they use an audio file for the grand jury, wouldn't they have to put a warrant in to be able to, like, grab it? I feel like they put a warrant in for every time something's used and moved. So I don't know. Now, see, these emails are email addresses that we knew about a long time ago. There's even a second phone number that we knew about from beforehand. This is from Match.com. See, this is Maddie's Tinder account, but they said that there wasn't anything on it. Like she hadn't been using it. And then Kohberger's Yik Yak account. Yeah, I want the information that's actually like associated with the accounts, not like, oh, we got the information. Okay, well, what is the information? More Twitter. Is this his Quora account? The name on the Google account is Mastery. That's a little bit crazy. I don't think I remember reading that last time. Hinge, dating app, Bumble. What in the shit is this? In examining the email contents associated with this Gmail account, I found emails referencing a Twitch account by the username of Cunning Chris, also referenced as this Chris. And this is from Kohberger's stuff. So that's a Twitch account that he, I guess, watched or maybe talked to. Who is this weirdo? Who is this weirdo right here? Why would you make that your username? Guys are so immature. So here's TikTok for Maddie. But see, this is another thing that I really want. Because they lied to us about Xana's TikTok time. They told us in the PCA that it was 4:12 in the morning. But the information that we got in the self-authenticating record says 3:16 a.m. And people wanted to argue with me, oh my God, it's a different time zone. No, time zones don't change minutes, so shove it. And it matters. It totally matters, especially since at this point, we still do not know when the DoorDash order was made. We know that Molly took forever to do anything because she's all messed up in the head and she just does whatever the frick she wants. Double dashing and just being all ridiculous. We have no idea what time it was actually put in. And all I know is that we see an SUV pulling into the area of 1122 at like 2:23. Closer to 2:24, I believe, is the timestamp for that. And then at 2:27, we hear the scream. Kohberger submitted a report for harassment and said somebody was harassing him on Reddit. It's targeted harassment at me. Submitted 6/10/2022. Interesting. This is him posting about the survey. They tested the IP to see if they used a VPN. Everyone uses a VPN. Everyone uses a VPN. You kind of have to. Snapchat. See, this is another thing. See right here? Snapchat had also some technical problems. We need to do a video of just all of the technical problems in this case. Charter spectrum for the internet had problems that stuff didn't keep for, and now Snapchat. There is a technical issue. Snap may not have produced certain data responsive to your search warrant. Therefore, after remediating the technical issue, Snap is regenerating the production responsive to your search warrant. So how do we know if the data was actually restored correctly, if there was a problem? We don't. We don't. Date ranges. I'd like to just see the information from him. I mean, we know that there's no connection between him and them on social media. Emails between Snapchat law enforcement. This is like extra stuff. We didn't see this stuff in the stuff that they released before, like the email attachments. We didn't see any of that stuff. Facebook extended warrant. And I control F'd Molly and nothing's in here, but that's because these are Mallory's. I think anything to do with Molly will be more pain. But there wasn't a group of documents for pain that were released on this one. Let me go see if they've done anything different. But Payne's Payne's name was not part of the information that was coming out. Verizon Cast. Is that Reddit? Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the one where they did it. It was wrong. This is for Instagram. And Kaylee's records weren't available. Call detail records that were obtained from AT&T pursuant to a warrant served by Brett Payne. And this is in May of 2023, right before the grand jury. See? So they're trying to say that they don't have this, but they have reports proving that they do. I don't know why this just opened. Go away. I was assigned the task of examining the call detail records. The call detail records that were obtained from AT&T pursuant to a warrant served by Corporal Brett Payne for the time frame of November 12, 2022 at midnight to November 14, 2022 at midnight. These records were requested for the account associated with the phone number known as the 8458 phone. The phone showed the subscriber as Bryan Kohberger, but the name is spelled wrong. I was specifically requested to examine the record showing connectivity to cell towers between the hours of 2 and 6. This was the time frame surrounding the homicides at 1122 King, although the records contained records for voice data and SMS. 1 second. Don heard a firework. And so he's tripping. And I'm like, yeah, tomorrow's New Year's Eve. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he just had to come tell me. He heard a firework. Okay. So they have call detail records, which we sort of already knew that. But I don't know why Ann Taylor didn't just produce this report and be like, hello, I was assigned the task of examining the call detail records that were obtained from AT&T, blah, 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 Bryan Kohberger. Judge, I mean, why can't you just hold up the blatant black and white fact and say, hey, it's here? The way that these freaking people lied. Insane. And remember, don't act like 7 minutes don't matter. It's funny how he always talks about his training and experience just to actually find out that he doesn't really honestly have any. He's incapable. He's proven that, moreover, time and time again. Yeah, there's that second phone number. Is that the second phone number? I know there was a second phone number that was on the WSU website that we looked at in the very beginning, but there was a warrant, I think, that went out for Verizon for that number, and then like nothing came of it because it wasn't a live number anymore. There was nothing on it. Instagram accounts. Now I hear the fireworks. Okay, does it show? Okay, it does show. You see how this has like this kind of stuff? This is how those bigger reports were too. But it was in like 4 or 5 sections, and it would show like amendments for things when it came to the experts stuff. NordVPN. See, he couldn't have been trying to hide his location that bad because he used a local one in Seattle for his phone. That's not even you trying to really hide your location. You're using the biggest city next to you. That's not you trying to really hide anything. Now here's those T-Mobile wireless numbers and Snapchat information. Facebook again. See, even Facebook. We became aware of an issue that may have affected our previous production of IP addresses. In this case, the updated IP records are now available for download. Another technical issue. How many more? How many more technical issues? Seriously. And then warrants having to be amended because they're done incorrectly. And this one's for Amazon. Check that out. On April 26, 23, I applied and was granted a warrant for data related to Amazon purchases and click activity for the following identifiers. On April 27, 2023, the warrant was served. Later, it was found the warrant was dated for March instead of April. An amended warrant was requested and granted. They can't even do a warrant right. Can't even do a warrant right. PayPal. Everybody got PayPal. OneDrive stuff. Storage from his other emails. Spotify, because for some reason they need your music playlist when you're a suspect in a quadruple homicide. PayPal again. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's just like anything else actually in here. See, they even went in there and got his iCloud account information and found nothing. I mean, didn't they go back to like 2016 or 2013? They went back like far as shit on some of these search warrants. Just to not even, and that's the crazy part. They went and did all of this crap to try to find all of these things wrong with Bryan Kohberger to prove that he's the guy. But then they agreed not to mention him stealing his sister's phone in 2014 and selling it for substance money. Something that everyone knows is a real thing that happened. This case makes no sense to me. It's like everything is a complete opposite. Microsoft. More stuff for Xana, Maddie, and Kaylee. Instagram stuff. See, I was hoping for like... Oh, hold on a second. What is this? What is this one? Oh my God, more proof right here. Check this shit out. Well, actually, it goes 2:30 to 4:30, but it mentions audio right here. Let's see if they say anything else right here. Oh, I didn't even know that this report was in here. Okay, I have another piece of ammo to use with these losers now. I need to write this down. Actually, I'll just take a screenshot and email it to myself. I'm going to read this one. I don't remember this report. Okay. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. I have it where like I can't really see what's going on over here. When I get my new computer, I'm going to make sure that it can actually handle two monitors without a problem, because for some reason the drivers on mine just can't handle it, which is why I don't have double monitors. I just want to make sure that y'all can actually see everything. Okay. On October 17th, 2023, and this is being written on October 25th, 2023, I received an email from the Latell County Prosecutor's Office in reference to downloading additional video from the security cameras seized from the residence located at 1112 King Road in Moscow. Previously, video had been downloaded from the camera from the approximate time frame of 2:30 to 4:30 on November 13th. So hold on, broski. You're seriously trying to sit here and tell me that before October 2023? No, it's a freaking impossible, because in June of 2023, Andrew Fox has the entire 3 days worth. So what do you mean this is like the only time frame you had was from 2:30 to 4:30? Previous reports prove that to be bullshit. These videos were downloaded and contained audio through different methods using forensically acquired data from the camera's SD card. Additional videos were downloaded. However, they did not include the audio. So there's no mention of no audio until October 17th, 2023. You're not confused. You're being an asshole. You know exactly what I'm doing. You know exactly what I'm here for, because I've seen your name in here a whole bunch of times. You're not confused. You're trying to pick a fight, and you're not going to win that one. You know what we're doing. Prove to me that Kohberger is actually guilty. I'm waiting. You're not confused. You know exactly what you're doing. There is nothing before this that says anything about no audio. Why would you wait until October of 2023 to mention something about no audio? And how am I supposed to believe that when we have 225 to 230 that has a gut-wrenching scream at 227? This report doesn't make any sense. He confessed. So what's a confession? What is a confession, Miss Karen? What's a confession? Do you know what a confession actually is supposed to consist of? Details, statements, answering questions. Standing up and saying yes to a bunch of redundancy is not a confession. I would really suggest using Google. It can be your best friend more than diamonds. I promise. I promise. Y'all can tear apart that clown because I'm really just not even going to deal with stupid people tonight. I'm really not. I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. I was requested to download videos to include audio from the approximate time frames of 4:45 to noon. Due to the fact the camera light bulb connection was inadvertently broken previously, a repair to the device to allow it to be powered on was needed. In the email received, see, it just jumped too far. In the email received on October 17, 2023, Defense Counsel Ann Taylor provided approval of the repair. Prior approval was provided by the Latell County Prosecutor's Office. What does that have to do with shit that happened before? It being broken in December doesn't have crap to do with cloud storage or the SD card from the 13th of November. I was able to request and receive the camera and wireless router from evidence. I was successful in replacing the light bulb threaded connection with a standard wall plug to power the device. The device powered up and I was able to download videos from 4:45 to 12:05 from the device. Upon reviewing the videos, they appeared to contain audio. The videos were saved to a forensic computer located in the secure Moscow Police Department. These videos were stitched together using Axion. Okay, again, so this is a whole nother copy. This is a whole nother copy because Andrew Fox, I'm going to pull it up right now. Andrew Fox stitched all of these together months before that. Months before that. Right here. June 15th, 2023. June 15th, 2023. Okay. So y'all have done it again. Y'all have gone in and stitched these again months and months later. Stitched it from what? Like you can't. Okay, see, this is more proof that they went in and downloaded even more. So there's more than the like 10 versions of this that we already thought that there was from previous reports. I did not see this one from all the way in frickin' October. Unbelievable. I'm going to read this whole damn thing again. Like, what? This is making me so angry. Like, I'm going to screenshot this whole thing right here. And I'm about to email this to her. I'm going to get Mallory's freaking email and I'm going to address him myself at this point. And I'm just going to have to talk to Dollinger. Like, they're not giving me a choice. If I was a manager in control of the offices over there, I would have literally fired, I don't know how many people by now. I managed a diesel shop and dealt with mechanics. I would have no problem clearing a damn office of this much incompetence. So quick. So freaking quick. This is so stupid. On October 17th, 2023, I received an email from Latell County Prosecutor's Office in reference to downloading additional video from the security camera seized from the residence. I want that email. I'm going to FOIA that email. Previously, video had been downloaded from the camera for the approximate time frame of 2:30 to 4:30. Yes, that's accurate. It was 2:30 to 4:30, but also before and after that. These videos were downloaded and did contain audio. Through different methods using forensically acquired data from the camera's SD card, additional videos were downloaded. However, they did not include the audio. So then somebody at some point went in after the SD card was given back to... Did they save the SD card? I don't remember if Mowry mentions what he did with the damn SD card in the previous report. He talks about getting the 32 gigabyte SD card. He never mentions that it's Gunderson that gives it to him in the report. When we see that on body cam, I put a video together showing the precise minute it's placed in his hand is the screenshot for the thumbnail, or you can see the interaction taking place at the top of the screen right under the timestamp when it was handed to Gunderson. He never mentions that Gunderson gives it to him, and I don't believe he ever said what he did with it. He said... No, it literally says camera's SD card. He says he puts he downloads... Man, what the frick did he do with it? He didn't even end up using anything from it because he made images of it and he couldn't actually access anything from the SD card until he did some other conversion shit to it that we went through over in the reports. He ended up, again, downloading the Home iPro app to his phone and then downloading the videos to his work phone. And then from the work phone, they went onto a DVD and the DVD got put into evidence, but that report didn't say what he did with the SD card. Through different methods using forensically acquired data from the camera's SD card, additional videos were downloaded. However, they did not include the audio. I love how you don't put the timestamps for it. I was requested to download videos to include audio from the approximate time frames of 4:45 to noon. Okay, but for what? If the prosecuting office thinks that at 4:20 their suspect left the area, then why do you need this? Why is the prosecuting office asking for that in December, over a year later? Is this in December? In October. Almost a year later. Almost a year later. Why do they need this? Why is the prosecuting office wanting this information so bad? That's not their time frame. That's not their time frame for the crime. And again, I don't see what the base of it being broken has anything to do with what happened on the 13th. I was able to request and receive the camera and wireless router from evidence. I was successful in replacing the light bulb threaded connection with a standard wall plug to power the device. The device powered up and I was able to download videos from 4:45 to 12:05 from the device. Upon reviewing the videos, they appeared to contain audio from this time frame. And again, why do you need that? I want to know what this email said for why. Because I bet you they told him why. They probably wanted him to look for something specific. The videos were saved to a forensic computer located in the secure Moscow Police Department. Yeah, so secure. So secure. The files were placed on Blu-ray discs. So he's upgraded in a year from DVD to Blu-ray. Jeez. So they're trying to say 2:30 to 4:30 that there was sound. And then he mentions a time frame that didn't have any audio. But what about when you downloaded it back on the 19th of November? When you downloaded the Home iPro app to your freaking work phone and you logged in and you downloaded the shit and you said that the freaking files contained audio in your other report. If there was a section that did not have audio, why is it not in your original report from 11/19? That makes me believe that this has been finagled and something happened to it. in between all this time. That's insane. Yeah, I'm going to throw that one at them too. And I was going to tell them, hey, that means that something obviously happened in between, because there's no mention whatsoever about there being no audio in any of the other reports. So what happened? And why are they doing that? That still doesn't make any sense to me. Why did he go back in and re-download 4:45 to noon if they already had it? From 12:55 on 11/13/22 to 17:22 hours on 11/17. That's 5:22 p.m. on 11/17. Why did they go back in to the SD card information and re-download it when they already had it in June? Unbelievable. This is the May 23rd, 2024 report that happened the day that they had the hearing that we went over in our live the other day. And then 8/8/24. Samsung phone. And they still don't have his name spelled right. That's wild. All the way down here in August 2024. Hard drive, stuff for the phone, and a laptop. Unbelievable. Wild. Okay. Well, we're done for the night with that one. My dad should be here in the next few minutes or so. So that timing worked out okay. Exactly. Why are you going back in and getting it again whenever you already have it? You already have this footage in like so many different versions. Why are you asking him to go back in and re-download it if Andrew Fox already put it together for you? I didn't see anything about it being handed to another cop because it's in the body cam, and she hands it straight to Gunderson, and Gunderson goes and walks it to his vehicle and puts it in his vehicle. We watch it on camera. There's not one for that one, unless it's another SD card from another camera that we haven't been told about. But she hands it straight to Gunderson. He walks it to his car. This is so stupid. You never saw it? I'll pull it up on a video I posted a couple days ago. Because I did an entire chain of custody for the SD card that now I'm going to have to go in and do a second one and add a couple other things to it. Here's the link to that video. I'll play it for you right now. I'll play that little portion where it's being handed to Gunderson right now. Let's see. It's very short. He didn't do much with it.
Yeah.
Right here.
Hello?
Hi there.
I was supposed to send Weaver a security camera.
Yeah.
The footage, but I couldn't figure it out. I didn't want to screw it up, so here's the SD card.
Okay, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if you need anything else, let us
Yeah,
know.
we will. And there's like nothing, no cam. I mean, just other than this one.
See, no cams other than this one.
So, which is somewhat promising. That's the footprints even.
He talks about not wanting to lose it, and then he walks to his truck.
You have a little fucker like this? One of the little adapter things. I'm gonna fucking lose it.
See, I don't want to effing lose it.
It's secured in my car.
And then suddenly he thinks he's Irish. It doesn't show like where he puts it.
It's in my car on the printer.
Now for the rest of
I
this,
can't tell what
I'm
he
gonna go
actually
off some
said. He
handwritten
said
on the computer or something like that. I can't actually tell what he says right here.
All right. It's in my car on the printer.
Now for the rest of this, see, this says on the pre-order, and that's not a thing. It sounds like pre-troller or something. I don't know what he's saying right there, but no, he definitely got it and was handed to it. That's why I find it strange when the reports are put together that he doesn't even mention that he gets it from Gunderson or like what the chain of custody actually is with that. So I'm gonna have to just do like an actual thing. Like I'm gonna have to FOIA the chain of custody for the SD card and see how off I am. I mean, obviously there's a couple things that I missed in those reports. That's crazy. That October one is pissing me off. I feel like if there was audio missing in it, then he would have mentioned that in the November reports. It wouldn't just be popping up a year later. That is so crazy. I hate this case. I hate how nothing makes sense, how nothing connects, and how every time we try to figure out anything, it's always just a bunch of bullshit. They still haven't put those documents back up. I'll go check out Reddit and see the people that have them, because I do know there's a couple pages, at least 2 pages that go and grab them. I also think that Sarah usually grabs them and puts them on Twitter. Like she puts like the full screenshots and like images in a thread on Twitter when they come out. So she might have some of those too. I have the list because we went over it earlier. I'm glad I did that little like preview video before the live, because it actually, like, I have the screenshots in there. Let's see, where's it at? Yeah, there's like so many. Hold on. Supplemental report from Mallory is the one that we were able to keep, and the one from Wilt we were able to keep. All right, my dad's in town, so he should be here in about 10 minutes. So we'll get off here in a few minutes. That works out perfect. Okay. So there was, I don't know why in the world this looks like this. Why does this look like this? I don't know why this is doing that. Okay. Okay, so we had we have Mallory's and we have Wilt's. So then they had the Vord Deer or whatever procedure information, jury questionnaire, Wathall, Nord, Ayers rebuttal, Ayers information, Heels or Hiles, Gilbertson's, those are both rebuttals, Martinez part 1 and 2, service report from Youngland, and then proposed jury questionnaire. That's the stuff that was on there earlier. So again, I'll go to Reddit later tonight and see who has the original documents up there, just so that I can make sure that like I have them to compare to whatever they end up putting up, because I'm telling you now, it's because of the redactions. It's because of the redactions. It said that it was supposed to have the usernames completely redacted, and it was only supposed to show the last 4 digits. It was only supposed to show the last 4 digits. I'll pull up the order now that we're done real quick, just so I can re-show you guys what he said. See, this one that had public information was staying sealed. This one was remaining sealed. Health info remaining sealed. Okay, so here's the redacted ones. The following redactions are necessary to balance the public's right to access with the privacy concerns. And it shows down here, all but the last 4 digits of the phone numbers and the username of all email addresses will be redacted, just like I said. Just like I said. So that's the reason why they probably took him down, because they did not do the redactions. They didn't do the redactions. 1 second. Okay, yeah, my dad just pulled in. Yeah, she always goes in and has a bunch of the screenshots from the documents and a lot of the other information on there too. Yeah, the addresses in that one, see, I went through that. The addresses in that one pretty much match the ones that we already have. There's another section in there that has a couple more addresses that I don't remember seeing before, but for the majority of that, there were ones that we already had access to. So again, I'm going to go into Reddit and I'm going to see how much of the original files people actually did put on there so that I can grab them, give credit to whoever has them, and put them on the Google Drive for you guys so that we can go in and do comparisons when they come back, because I'm telling you, it is. They messed up. They messed up putting people's phone numbers and shit out there, which honestly, like I said, incompetence all around. Incompetence all around. Technical errors and incompetence all around. It's so ridiculous. Okay, I'll go live tomorrow at some point so that we can continue looking at wilts. I don't know what time yet, so we shall see what's going on. I don't know what our plans are. Dad coming up today is a last minute change of plans. He was supposed to be up here for Christmas into the new year because New Year's actually is his birthday. So I guess it worked out better him coming in this portion instead of Christmas anyway, because we do birthdays. They're more important. They're more important. So I'm going to go ahead and get off of here so I can go see him and my little Lasky. He's got a 12-year-old Chihuahuas that we just love. Thank you so much for coming in here. Thank you so much for the super stickers and the super chats, the people that joined and the gifted memberships. I appreciate you guys so, so much. We will get together again tomorrow to go over some more of this information. Keep an eye out for community posts, because as soon as I have the documents, find out where the rest of the documents are, I will let you guys know. I will let you guys know. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this out real quick. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.